Hey guys, Pablo here. And if it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I have a really good friend of mine. His name is Keith Crossland, and he's the founder of Immerse Underwater Safari. So we're going to be talking to him about what Immerse is doing and how they're going to save the planet. Let's dive right in. Hey guys, so today we have my really good friend Keith Crossland. He's the founder of Immerse Underwater Safari, a company that is going to be doing a lot of great things, that is already doing a lot of great things. Keith, thanks for your time and welcome.
Hey, how you doing? Happy to be here. Excited to be here. Big fan of your platform, and glad you was able to carve out some time for us.
Absolutely, man. Anytime anybody's doing something great for the environment, I always welcome that, and not just the environment, but also including technology with that. That's amazing. So, why don't you tell us about yourself and what Immerse is doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm Keith Crossland, as we previously mentioned. I am the chief aquanaut of Immerse Underwater Safari, and so Immerse Underwater Safari is really simple. We're taking guests of resorts on once in a lifetime underwater safaris. We're using state of the art equipment, which I'm sure we'll talk more about later, and we're exploring the world unlike it's never been seen before. Really, we came up with the idea for Immerse Underwater Safari based off this principle of our oceans are under attack, and therefore our planet's under attack. As many of you may know, the oceans comprise roughly 71% of our planet. And of course, water being the most precious resource on the planet, it's up to us and everyone's participation to protect and fight for it because it's not ocean issues that's occurring right now, it's life and humanity issues. And so really we got inspired by, watching documentaries, going to aquariums and other stuff. You hear about just what's going on in our oceans. They're just being decimated from several different reasons. You have everything from pollutions, you have invasive species being transported through human means and disturbing ecosystems everywhere. You have overfishing, where really just no regard is given to the ecological life of species, and we're just literally just taking as much as we want out of the ocean and serving on plates or putting in fish tanks all over the world. So it's problems like that that really got us involved in with building out Immerse Underwater Safari. Now, as I alluded to, there are other mediums that are kind of building this marine life awareness, which is our main mission, right? We have documentaries and TV, which reach the masses, and they really drive home the point. In fact, what got us here. The problem is, as you're well aware, we live in this very short-term microwave era where once the document's over, you watch something else, and then that emotion may subside, or you're on to bigger and better things. Similarly, aquariums, beautiful, just built out. You go to aquarium, you really get engaged in this marine life. However, it's not the marine life's natural habitat. It's marine life, such as fish and other things, hand selected to go on these tanks to get humans to view these things and engage. So we were trying to figure out what's a better way to evoke more emotion for this often forgotten about marine life. How can we get people involved where it's not just a turn on, turn off, and it's not just a walk down the block where you're still in your natural habitat and fish are brought to you. So we thought, let's put together something that evokes emotion, gets people going, and raises marine life awareness to tackle some of the challenges brought up, but also in an exciting way where people feel joy to come in and play their part in helping, like I said, our planet and humanity. So there's so many challenges with saving our oceans and the planet. So rather than the traditional startup philosophy where you target one thing and you try to do it better than all your competition, We were very ambitious and we set out to tackle multiple problems. In this, our foundations are A, raising marine life awareness, B, increasing ocean access, C, transmitting data for research and conservationists, D, actually cleaning our oceans while we're there. So our focus is more broad because the problem that we're attempting to solve is a little broader than maybe the typical problem that companies set out to address.
Wow. I mean, honestly, those four things, most companies are, typically just doing one of those things. You're doing four things. You're I think when you said the last thing, cleaning the ocean, that's amazing. Definitely want to hear more about that. You have all the other issues that you're tackling, the awareness to evoke that emotion long after you've left. I watch or I read, I consume, I'm like, oh man, I want to be part of that movement. But within 5-10 minutes, it might go away from me because I'm not fully immersed. And I don't mean to use the word in, your company name, but it almost, that's what it is, right? You want to immerse yourself, feel it, right? You want to be empathetic to what's out there, to what we are kind of ruining. And if we can get on the right track and get, even if it's one person, that one person can make the change for their community and keep that going. So that's amazing. I think that's great. And I'm really excited to hear more about what you have going on. And Keith, that Crux of Tech is a tech channel. So some people might be asking, why do you have Immerse Underwater Safari talking about, sustainability and all that? But, with Immerse, it's not just what you're doing, it's how you're doing it, right? It's the tech behind Immerse. It's the breakthrough innovations that Immerse Underwater Safari is going to be bringing to us. And that's how they're going to tackle these issues. So, like, can you tell me wherever you want to begin? I know there's so many parts of Immerse that are just like mind blowing. It's almost futuristic. I mean, I'm so excited. I don't even know where to start. I'm like a giddy little kid on Christmas. I want to know so much more. Tell me.
Yeah. So, I mean, really a lot of exciting stuff, mission driven stuff, and just what we feel is an excellent company we put together, that focus on more than just financials. Now, a question that may be on everyone's mind before we get into everything else is, okay, what about COVID-19? And we certainly understand that, and we're certainly susceptible to all the factors and uncertainty with COVID-19. But we are also fortunate of a few things. Number one, where we're operating in the Maldives, they've developed this concept of one resort, one island a long time ago. So in essence, when you go on vacation, you're in isolation. This isn't a bustling downtown or anything of that nature. Prior to getting here, there's all the safety checks, such as requirements for a negative test. There's temperature checks. There's masks required. There's daily testing of the staff. And so there's all of these things that are in place to help keep you and your family protected. In addition to that, what we're doing with Immerse is, of course, we are requiring masks when you go down in the submersible, but we also have a carbon capture filter that actually scrubs the air and is changed out since you're in this enclosed space. So if you're comfortable enough to take a plane to get here, you should be more than fine with actually going on an underwater safari with us.
Oh, great. So you're actually taking extra safety precautions, cleaning of the air, probably wiping down all controls, everything that's, touched, throughout any given trip, and then making sure the next guest that goes under will be like it's brand new. Yeah.
Absolutely, and thank you for adding the white down. That's been something that's so habitual in today's age, but it is key to point out that yes, we also will be wiping down everything in addition to cleaning the air in between every ride.
Yeah, I know everything that we're doing now that we didn't do a year ago is seems so normal. I'm watching a movie sometimes and I see people hugging. I'm like, don't hug, don't hug, don't do that. You can't do that. And I'm like, wait, this is a movie that was filmed 10 years ago. It's not the same. But now I think at least me, I'm just so like, aware of those little things that it's just normal. And back in March of last year, we were like, oh my God, our new normal, but this is our normal. And it's great that you're definitely, taking that into account, moving forward, and how things will probably be changing every day. The only constant is change, right? So
That's it.
that's great. And
Yeah, thanks for that. We love the enthusiasm that it's the enthusiasm such as that got us involved in this to begin with. So let's maybe start with the submersible, right? Makes sense. We wouldn't be sitting here talking unless the submersible was involved, I can imagine. So we're using a state-of-the-art U-boat Sea Explorer 5, right? And this isn't our grandparents or the legacy submersibles where you put your hands over your eyebrows to see out of a viewport. This is all glassed in, everywhere you look, panoramic views of the water. And so when you're in it, you feel you're at one in the water. It feels as if there's nothing between you and the sea. In fact, so much so that I oftentimes hit my hand on the structure, forgetting that it's there. Uh, but yeah, just unbelievable, incredible, non-compromised experience from what a diver sees, but gives you so much more. And one of those things that it gives so much more of is depth. Our submersibles are rated to 600 feet, meaning we can dive down to areas unexplored by any divers out there. If you're familiar with scuba diving, they're limited to around 100 or so feet, and that's with your master class after going through all the certifications. But still, you're down there for a matter of minutes. It's a lot of pressure, and it's quite frankly not the safest thing to do. So we can go down with one atmosphere pressure, never changing, no ear popping, any more than a conventional airplane, and explore the world unlike it's ever been seen. One of the things when I start talking about this immersible, and pictures is worth 1,000 words. It's hard to really take into account just how the breakthrough and how amazing this is. Some people get scared. They start thinking, oh, a submarine, what if we go down? What if a shark eats us? And things of that nature. And so I'm here to tell you that, number one, our batteries, we can go on for up to 16 hours of continuous use in between charges. Lithium ion batteries, we have a safety function which provides critical things such as oxygen, lighting, and other things like that for 96 hours of the sub. So that's 4 days, meaning in the event that for some odd reason the sub got stuck, you have 4 days worth of critical life systems to be rescued. And speaking of rescuing, not that we're too worried about this, but again, just to ease any fears that may be out there, there's a safety buoy that deploys from the sub. And so it goes up to the surface and it shows divers, boat passengers, all other people that, hey, look, there's a sub here, and it's flashing warnings. So it's really just packed with features. I can probably go on all day, but those are really the key components I really wanted to highlight.
so this submersible is quite a big deal, huh? This is not just, hey, let's go a couple of 100 feet under. This is the real thing, panoramic views. This is the real deal, huh? The real fun stuff. And when you say submersible, is that synonymous with submarine? Is that like just interchangeable, or?
For the most part, yeah. So submersibles are subclass of submarine, generally more for personal use versus the military issued or the big uh, ones that we know and love and are used to.
Got it, got it. All right. So a question I have is, how are you gonna be, getting passengers aboard, and how many passengers can be on board at one time?
Oh, that's excellent question. So our submersible is 5 passengers, but it's one pilot plus 4 passengers. So for the sake of this conversation, let's say it's 4 passengers because you at all times need someone to pilot it, right? And what another thing I'm excited to talk about is the platform in which we do launch our submersible, in which we board and everything else. And that's our mothership, right? It's a custom boat designed specifically to house this sub, and it's packed with loaded features. One of the greatest things we were able to accomplish is we have quad 300 horsepower outboards for 1,200 continuous horsepower. It's amazing. It gets us to our destinations, to our dive spots comfortably and efficiently. And some of the unique features of this mothership, we have a sub crane platform where it's an A crane that's built on the back of the boat, custom to pick the submersible out of water after use and also lower it into water. There's a retractable platform in which the submersible actually sits on, and we can provide maintenance and other things. The mothership also has a generator for charging the sub and for powering the rest of the boat, along with a sub compressor for filling up oxygen tanks in which the submersible needs to do the dives. The point here with the mothership was to provide a standalone independent platform to operate the submersible. So when we do long charters, let's say a week, we don't need to go in on land for power, for scuba tanks, or for anything of that nature. It's a standalone platform, custom just for our submersible. And the last, and I'd say probably the most intriguing aspect, is our submersible is equipped with state-of-the-art microplastic removal technology. It's our engines that are literally sucking in water, taking out the micro fragments, usually not caught by other technologies given their molecular size, and it's literally filtering them out, and we capture them and we dump them into a safe house. Moves other debris also, but microplastics being the biggest one, and we're very happy and proud to say that our operations will be cleaning the oceans while providing this once in a lifetime experience.
Providing some fun recreation by also cleaning the ocean. Earlier, you had said something about also providing research data to your research partners. How is that possible with the submersible?
So sure. So we're excited again, just very excited to have this opportunity to do this. So in cohorts with operating our submersible, one of the things that we looked to do was to get some oceanic data for our operations, right? We want to know what the currents, what the waves, water temperature, and things of that are when operating any given day, so we can know which sites to go to. And so the thought dawned on us, wait, there are people doing much bigger, more important, widespread things with this data. And unfortunately, they're sending divers or using some of their budget to obtain the data. Now, we felt, hey, if we can do the data obtaining, maybe they can spend their time and resources more on actually taking care of the solutions that we all need these experts and professionals to do. So we said, why don't we transmit the data for them? So how we're bringing that to life, again, is a technological advance, is we have a research drone. It's an ocean drone called Spotter. It's all solar, so we never have to take it out, plug it in, or anything. It literally is automatic, and it just lays in the ocean and operates off solar energy. Now, it's taking the measurements that I just mentioned: wind, waves, currents, temperatures of water, outside temperature, and so forth. And it's transmitting that data to the largest private database in the world, where there's universities, conservationists, researchers, and everything, taking that data and again, doing things that really, really matter and really, really will help us and our planet. And so we're just thrilled that we can be a part of that, and we can bake that into our operations and still move the needle for improving our planet.
So the information that you're gathering, all this data, is not just going to one or two partners. It's going to an actual like site, and then or whatever storage wherever this information gets kept, and anybody can get it.
That's correct. So it's part of a larger network. It's the Sofar Ocean network, and anyone who signs up for that can get this data. The interesting thing about this is, data is place specific. And so we're operating in a very remote location in the Indian Ocean where we don't expect people to have access or have data on what's going on in the ocean readily. So we're playing our part in providing that. And so collectively, when you have all of these data points coming from around the world in different oceans, different regions, and so forth, you can then start making better informed decisions about what's going on in our subsea world. So we're playing our part by providing data from this portion of the world, and any and everyone who's part of the network can use that. They can and improve upon efficiencies and do other things with the data, including universities, which are using it in their educational platforms.
Oh well, that's amazing, man. I love the fact that it's kind of open source, that anybody can if they're part of the network, get that information, and probably almost in real time, right? Like they can use that and not have to wait for the data to get uploaded to this and then go to there. It's just ready to go. I love that. It's amazing. All right. So earlier we were talking about you'll watch a documentary, and in that moment you feel like that you need to be part of the movement. You need to be part of what's happening. That that it touched you at a different level. How are you going to be able to give that moment to whoever is a fellow Argonaut with you? How are you going to give them that moment forever? That way, they can kind of go back, not just in their memories. Is there something that they can take home with them, or is there something that they can kind of watch and that be their own documentary? Like that way, we can say like, I made this and I want to keep this going.
Absolutely. Again, very, very well thought out, and it's something that we came together and thought through, and you hit it right on its head. Is how can we give people their own documentary? Something that they're attached to, that's more than just what's on the channel on their TV at the time. And so we thought long and hard about this, and I'm happy to tell you we have a amazing, amazing ultra high definition ocean drone that captures footage of your whole safari. This drone is a QC 5-fish V6. Again, it shoots in 4K. It has camera stabilization technology, so you don't have to worry about jerky recordings or anything of that nature. Just very smooth the whole time, recording your whole safari. Of course, during the safari, you're going to see things that's exclusive to your ride, whether that's rock formations, coral reefs, and so forth, or whether that's living marine life. So you get to capture all of that. One of the coolest things about this is our ocean drone comes with two sets of controls. You can control the drone via regular handheld controller, like many of the drones that you're familiar with are controlled. But our drone goes a step further. We want to really provide this immersive experience. So we have a VR drone setup where you put on a VR headset, or let's say a guest with you comes with you and they don't want to go on a safari, they just want to hang back on a boat because they're a little intimidated for whatever reason. They would be able to put on a VR headset and literally control this ocean drone with head movements, up, down, left, right, follow the whole safari the whole time as if they were down there with you. All of this is recorded. As soon as you come up, we're able to distribute this video seamlessly right to your favorite smartphone or email application, again, in beautiful high def resolution.
Uh, yeah, that's amazing. The whole VR thing where you didn't have to go down if you didn't want to. You for whatever reason, you say you might be intimidated. Not only you're giving accessibility to people who may not otherwise be able to scuba dive or don't want to scuba dive, but now you're also giving accessibility to people who just wouldn't even want to be in the sub. That's just a level above, and I think that the VR technology is interesting, and it's so big right now that there's so much more that probably could be done with that, in the
Absolutely.
future for Immerse, and really make almost every trip there someone's documentary all over the world. They don't even have to be in the Maldives at that specific time.
Yeah, and one thing I'd add to that is since it's captured in VR, we can also distribute the video in that format. So, talk about your own documentary and being able to share with people. Well, let's say post vacation, you're done, you just took this amazing safari, and you bring it back home to your loved ones, friends, and so forth. It's video. Well, what if they want to see it in VR? So long as you have VR headset and so forth, you'd be able to upload that and have, your loved ones put on a VR headset to see what your safari was like, your own documentary, and really be immersed in it from a virtual reality standpoint. So yeah, we love the technology and we're just excited to really showcase it.
So I'm excited that you came on. I know you're pretty busy with everything you have going on at Immerse and everything else that's happening on, just in life in general. I know you have a 1-year-old baby at this point, right? Close or so. So that's probably keeping you up at night. So congratulations on that. Um, but I think that everyone wants to know how they can get involved.
So it's a very timely question. We're actually doing something that's very near and dear to my heart, where we have a public crowdfunding platform going, where we're raising money for the launch in the Maldives. Again, we have partner resorts already lined up. We're already in discussions with future ones. So we have established that. Uh, we have over 100 private investor calls lined up. But as something that's near and dear to me, like I said, is I love to get everyone involved, and everyone who wants to be a part of this have the opportunity, and not just wealthy or institutional money. And so you can see the link that's below the video. And you can come check us out. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot, but you can be a part of this and actually own a piece of this right on wefunder.com. Outside of that, it's been a pleasure. Thank you again. Just can't say how big of fans we are of your platform and all you do, giving honest, real life reviews, and really standing up for the consumer and not just the paid advertising, say what we tell you to say about our product. So just happy to be on such a genuine platform and having the opportunity to present to your fans.
I definitely appreciate you coming on, and thanks for the kind words. Um, I'm definitely going to link down in the description the WeFunder page, the Immerse Underwater Safari website as well, so you can do a little bit more digging on what it is that Immerse is doing, where they are. What Keith was saying about the crowdfunding, it's a great way to own a piece of something great, of something that's going to be making a difference. So if you have any questions, definitely put them down in the description below, or you can always email Keith either on WeFunder. I know he's been responding like crazy. A lot of the questions are coming through, very thought out questions. You can go there on on Instagram. I think it's Immerse Underwater Safari, and like I said, I'm gonna put all those in the description so you can reach Immerse many different ways. Immerse wants to answer all the questions that you may have, so that way you know what Immerse is up to and what they're going to be doing now and in the future. Another question that many people may be having right now as they're watching this video and they're seeing all this amazing underwater footage, when can they actually start taking dives with Immerse Underwater Safari?
Yeah, so we're excited to launch, expected in second quarter of 2021. So coming up relatively soon, with our partner resorts again in the Maldives.
Oh, that's amazing. So let's all hope everything gets better soon. I know we're all staying safe, and hopefully we can all start getting out and traveling like we all love to do. In the Maldives, I think we should put that at top of the list to go see Immerse Underwater Safari. Come visit Keith. Maybe I'm down there. We don't know. We might do a couple of videos on set. I know Keith is down in the Maldives right now. You can see behind him. It's nice bamboo, but I'm in cold Philadelphia right now. But Keith is enjoying it over there. All right, Keith, before I let you go, I mean, I see the bamboo, I see you in a t-shirt, I see the blue sky in the back, but I want to see the ocean. I want to see the beach. Show me where you actually are right now.
Sure. So this is no virtual background. So I will just
Yeah, I was gonna ask
put a
you, is that
little
the virtual
display
background? Oh, okay.
the ocean and our crab creatures that's been keep us in the interview.
Got it, got it. I mean, it's kind of getting a little distorted. Thing you
All right.
might be losing a little Wi-Fi,
I
but
don't know what.
again, thanks for your time, Keith. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. All right?
All right. Thank you. Stay safe.
Yeah, you too, man.